Everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a special guest with me here today in our amazing, elevated, and empowered entrepreneur community. But before I introduce Cher, I will introduce myself if we haven't met yet. Hello. If we have, hi. How are you, everybody? Great to have you here. So my name is Megan Nolan, and I am the curator of this amazing global community of elevated and empowered entrepreneurs. And I help you use the tools of yoga and exercise to live, move, and feel your best and fully embody the most charismatic, centered, courageous version of yourself so that you can show up as that version of you in your life and in your business. And so I can help you with that realm of things, which, of course, your health is important to be able to achieve the impact and the income that you want. But I also know that there's a lot of other components to having a business and to life that I am so excited to be bringing in other guest experts to share their magic with you. And today, I'm so excited to have Cher Cunningham with us today. And we're going to be talking about all things trusting ourselves and taking inspired action and what can stop us from doing that. So welcome, Cher. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, Megan. Doing great. Good to see you.
You too. Let me just give you a second to introduce yourself and tell everybody, where in the world you are, what you do, and I'll just make sure that things are happening here in the interwebs, and we'll go from there.
That sounds great, Megan. So perfect. I am Cher. I am the mindful entrepreneur. In a previous life, I was a web designer, and I burnt out so hard that on the way back to being alive again, I came across some amazing tools, from mindfulness, which regained my life, to hypnosis, which inspired my life, helped me feel joy and happiness that I had given up on ever feeling at all, let alone again. I hadn't had that in life. And so I now have a mission to be the person that I needed back then when I burnt out. I use a great deal of hypnosis and NLP to help clear away the crap, the baggage, the lies that we live as though they're true, that hold us back from being the person that we are meant to be in our business and in our life. It ripples, which is a beautiful thing.
Oh, I love that. And I'm so grateful, and I appreciate your honesty and also that you got the tools that you needed to navigate burnout and be able to make it back. And now you're living, in such beautiful alignment with that by sharing these tools with all of us today. So as everybody arrives, let us know how you're doing, say hi, give us some emojis of how you're feeling today, and you're excited to learn these amazing tools. So you just gave yourself a beautiful introduction, but I would supplement that here with just a little bit more. Okay, so Cher Cunningham is a business hypnotist who helps entrepreneurs take strategic action on their bold vision, tackle the fears, anxiety, and doubt of survival mind, beat the permission paradigm, and program your brain into new ways of thinking, feeling, and being. So that is so powerful. And I wanted to start with asking you a little bit about that. We all know, and I'm sure we can all relate, and if you can, please let us know in the comments, because we're all in our own boats, but we're all on the same ocean in a sense. And so I think a lot of times, we have these big visions for our business, for ourselves, for what we want to do. And, we can get ready, or we don't get ready and we're like, no, I'll wait forever, and we procrastinate and we, try to refine it till the cows come home. And so can you talk a little bit more about those, stall tactics that our brain likes to use, and where they come from and what we can do about them? And yeah, let's start there.
Let's see what we can cover, Megan. So our brains are not designed to be entrepreneurs. We're actually using the hardware incorrectly when we do brilliant things, when we pursue visions that are bold and beautiful and exciting and impactful. Our brain is designed to keep us safe. Don't eat the red berries. Eat the blueberries. They kept you alive yesterday. I know they tasted terrible. They made you a little bit sick, but they didn't kill you. Right? That's how our brains are designed. We're not supposed to do brilliant, beautiful things. Our mind, our heart, and our body, however, are just designed for greatness. So we need to get to know our brain, get to understand that. And that's why you see so many brain hacking and life hacking tools out there, because we can change the hardware. How you use your mind will change your brain. And In the past, if you had parents or you didn't, your brain installed a few things that kept you thriving, looking to earn gold stars, looking for that external validation, right? If it was perfect and you had your name printed on it and your printing was really good, you got the gold star. If you got 98%, you did not get the gold star. So we have some installed behaviors that make us wait, make us hesitate and overanalyze and look around to see, how did everybody else in the class do this? That doesn't work as an entrepreneur.
I laugh because I love gold stars and I give them to all my students so they can give them to themselves.
And I love that.
Because I know it's a very strategic mechanism, and it kind of pulls us back to that, like just wanting to be validated and learning to see ourselves and celebrate and reward ourselves. And so I think that's important that we recognize that, these patterns they're long been in there and they're outdated compared to where we want to go. And so, it's important that we are aware of this, and that's what you are really so amazing at. And so if you that are watching can relate to that at all, of getting frustrated by just feeling like you're repeating the same patterns, or feeling like you're constantly like on the struggle bus and you're having this hard time, or you feel like you're an imposter and like all those things, please let us know in the comments if you can relate to any of that. And so I think, what you touched on there is we want to be validated. We want to be seen. And I know for myself, being a recovering perfectionist, admittedly, that I've had a hard time in the past. I'm very much working on this. And the reason, that I give my students the gold stars is because I've learned to use them for myself. And so how can we begin to self-validate in a sense and like look at our strengths and look at the things that make us unique? And is that helpful for us to be doing?
Absolutely. In fact, I do have a challenge coming up that is about looking at your own strengths, looking inside first. We will always need external validation, but our goal in adulthood development is to need it less. So it becomes an external check to make sure that we are on the right track. But start by looking inside and know that you do have brilliant strengths and learn how to uncover them. I remember reading Stephen Covey. Did you read The 7 Habits? Right? Mm-hmm. And not having a clue, like intellectually, like I'm pretty smart. Intellectually, I got the 7 habits, but emotionally, it never integrated it. It didn't really click at the unconscious level to say, yes, this is me, and how the heck to do any of it. There were no tools. It was just brilliant wisdom. So it's like, just tell me step by step, what do I do first?
Totally.
What's the strength? Right? And I remember thinking that, what is a strength? I'm great at math. Is that a strength? I'm great at sales. Is that a strength? No, those are skills. And so we start trying to blame ourselves and feeling weak in areas that are just skills that we can learn, right? And if you've ever thought, well, I'm not good at sales, and I think most of us have thought, I'm not good at sales at one point in time, right? It's just a skill to learn. It's not an inherent quality of salesmanness that you could have been born with.
Right. Okay.
So critical to know.
Yeah, it is critical to know, because we can get really good at being critical with ourselves for not having mastered such things. So can you give us some examples of strengths that would make you potentially resilient and successful as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So curiosity. If you have recognized that you have the strength of curiosity, you can actually schedule into your journaling time or your meditation time some great questions about your day, what you plan to do with your day, or how you showed up in your day, what you could have learned from it. Now, if curiosity isn't your thing and it's compassion, then you can deliberately build that into your day. How have I given myself compassion today? How have I shown compassion for others? How can the business that I'm running live compassion so that I know that I am showing up from a place of alignment with who I am? Our real strengths are our character strengths and our values, and the things that, if I was to take that away from you, if I was like, Megan, you can't have compassion for the next month, you would feel like you were suffocating. So we build those into our day. We look at the rituals we're already doing. So I can brush my teeth with curiosity. I wonder what will happen if I brush my teeth with my left hand instead of my right. And just play teeny, teeny, tiny things, right? Those little ways that we can just honor ourselves all day long.
I love that. So what I'm hearing you say is that once we recognize it, then we're reinforcing it by continually practicing and giving ourselves the opportunity to experience it even more, which is thereby strengthening it even more. So that's really a nice like double whammy of benefits that you're getting. I like that.
Exactly. And when we go back to the brain science, there's a law called Hebb's law that says that neurons that wire together will fire together, and that repeats in a loop. So they fire together, they wire together further and further. So we bring a strength into something that we think of as a weakness. So if you think that you are weak in sales, then you bring in that strength of compassion. How can you do sales compassionately or curiosity? As soon as you bring those together, you start identifying that as an opportunity to stand in strength instead of it being a weakness now. And at the hypnotic level, we can make that happen automatically instead of that 21-day or 42-day or 67 days, right? Of making yourself do it. So think about, what is something that I have a hard time with? And then just on your own, write ways that you can use your strongest strengths in that situation, and automatically that will start happening for you.
I heard that automatically. I like that.
I prefer that because you can white knuckle your way through entrepreneurship and try and do it all yourself and figure it all out and make it hard for yourself. Or you could remember that this is a place of passion and play, and reach out and have some fun with it. Reach out to an accountability partner and say, you know what, I want to make this fun. I want to get better at this, and build it together.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as you are arriving and as you are watching, thank you for being here. If you have any questions, just to catch you up, we're talking with Cher, talking about how we can step into our strengths, give ourselves the opportunity to practice those so that they automatically become part of your life. And we're doing some neurohacking. We're talking about brain science because I love that. I love the spirituality, but I really love the science as well, and the way they interlap and intersect and really support each other. So brilliant, brilliant. So I think that's another thing. Oh, I'm hearing a bit of an echo. I wonder if that's me. Why is it, I think you've already said this, but I want to reinforce it because we can be so critical and get stuck in that imposter syndrome story and on, the struggles and all of that. And so from a longevity perspective, from a success perspective, from your perspective, why is it really important? Obviously, you're doing a challenge about it, so it's obviously something that you're very passionate about. But why is it important that we dig into those personal strengths?
It's a great question. And I do want to mention, this is the first time I've done a challenge. I have been inspired to do this challenge because it is so core and foundational. And it is that place of transformation that when you have identified your strengths and you start making those commitments to becoming that version of yourself that is going to create the success and the impact that you want, everything just becomes easier. Part of the path of getting through imposter syndrome is actually knowing who you are, understanding your actual value and the value your business creates, and that they are two separate things. Your business is a separate entity that is run by and inspired by you. And imposter syndrome is actually just part of the path because you have committed to mastering something, to being an expert at something. If you had not made that commitment, you would never have imposter syndrome crop up in your life. It's one of the steps on mastery. Doesn't that take the sting out of it?
I love that because that's incredible because a lot of times, and it's interesting, the more we talk about this, the more we recognize that we all have varying degrees of these, situations and issues and struggles. And so just hearing from your perspective that it is part of the path, and it's, what is the quote that it's like, obstacles are not in your way, they're part of the path, or something to that effect, right? And so that's what this is right now, is that just that recognition that this is part of your journey. And as you said, part of self-mastery. And I heard recently that, it's typically like high achievers and high performers that meet these obstacles, because we're like, yes, here I go, I'm off on my mission. And then of course, there's going to be ways for us to learn and grow and master, like you said, master and truly become that version, that next level version of ourselves that is necessary to achieve your goals and your dreams. Because the version of you that 10 years ago hasn't done the work, hasn't peeled back the stories, hasn't had these encounters with imposter syndrome or doubt to be able to help you to evolve and fully express and become that version. So I love that. And so I can see that being really important. And so on that note of why it's key to identify, why it's key to give ourselves opportunity and just be a little more compassionate with ourselves as we meet these little forks in the road, I guess you could call them. What can we do to really begin to step into that version and empower ourselves in that new direction towards our goals?
I love that question, because the key to empowering yourself in that fashion is to recognize that inside yourself is where you need to go, but inside your future self. We often look outside for a role model, a guru, somebody who's done it. You know who has done it, and it's very timey-wimey and hypnotic, but yourself.
Timey-wimey. I like that. I like your words.
The person that you are becoming is already out there. It's,
yes.
When you step up spiritually, you go up to the Akashic field and all that stuff. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, but the person that you are becoming in 3 years has already done the stuff that you're overwhelmed by. So as you imagine, and it's a hypnosis, it's a visualization, as you step into that you 3 years from today, right? It's May 11th, 2024. You go out into the future and just float out into that time to the person who's already achieved all those things that are making you go, I don't know if I can do this. What am I going to have to do? Oh, will people like it? Will they enjoy it? Am I going to have the impact? That person's already done it. All the pressure's gone. All the anxiety's over. You can't even make yourself be anxious about something that you've already done. What that will do is clear away that nonsense, clear away every limiting belief you have about yourself, because you're standing in the person who's already done it. Now listen to the advice you would give you to live those 3 years that you know are leading to that success. Your future identity is the key to moving forward. Not anybody out there, not some Instagram trick or some strategy or business model. Your future self is already programmed into you. Listen to that.
That's beautiful. And I love, again, so going back to the spirituality and the science intersecting, that is the essence of what we do in yoga and what we do when we activate intentions and we activate seeds of qualities of being and different tools. And that's essentially what we're practicing on yoga on the yoga mat, is truly stepping into that version now, because, perhaps we've heard of the be, do, have model and how we need to be that version to do the things to get to the point where we have all the things, but we tend to be in the have, do, be of like, once I have it, then I'll do it, then I'll be that version. And I think what you're suggesting clearly is that your heart, your inner wisdom, wherever you feel like your inner guidance is, maybe it's in your gut, your heart, wherever, your mind, that we need to connect with that. And that's the true essence. And that's the true inner guru, if you will. And like, rather than somebody who's going to tell us what to do, the wisdom within you is the true guiding force. And so I love that, from your perspective, it's very aligned with the work that I do. And I think it's brilliant that's what you guide people to do. And I think it's such a powerful way for us to get into being, which is what you've been talking about the whole time, right? Be that version. And so we all are like hashtag doing all the things all the time. And what I've tried to, encourage people is, are you hashtag being all the things? No, we're being worried. We're being a procrastinator. We're being doubting. We're being all those things. So can we look at how we can be that strong version that you are inviting us towards, that you can step into now and really commit to becoming. And I love that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So you did mention that you have your challenge coming up, and it's your first one. I'm so excited. So let us know about that, and give us a little inside scoop about what we can expect and when it's starting and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, the challenge starts this coming Monday, the 17th. I will be going live on Facebook each day to share an idea or two or three. It'll be 10 to 15 minutes so that you have time for homework and still fit it all into about half an hour a day to profoundly change how you choose to show up in your day. We often let ourselves down by looking outside. So the challenge brings you inside your strengths and inside your day, because the key to those big goals isn't going away for 2 weeks to some Caribbean island and taking that time. It's the little tiny things, the habits that you do today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And it's amazing how you can put off those little tiny habits to tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. So this is about owning your day, designing a day that activates your strengths, activates your intention very quickly. It's actually, 10 minutes, a tiny 10-minute ritual you'll build during this challenge so that each morning you show up and you are intentionally building that impact and that vision. I'm totally excited about it and really looking forward to supporting people through the challenge of going inside instead of out.
I agree, because I love that that's your focus. And I think a lot of times we are reluctant, we're like constantly shiny object and looking outside and what's it going to be, and we're chasing the next strategy. But I think really what you're saying is the work for us to do is to turn our beautiful attention, our wise heart, and our, that instinct and intuition, turn it inwards, tap into that, and really begin to cultivate that deep knowing, as well as cultivate the strengths that you already have, because they're already in you and you all have the tools already. Spoiler alert.
And anything will work. It's not that you haven't found the right strategy. Right. It's that the strategy needs to align with you. And if you're feeling like nothing works, it's because you haven't centered yourself like that and said, this commitment, this is where I'm going. This is how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that. Yes, Brandy agrees, and she says it all starts within. It totally does.
Absolutely.
Yes, and it's that inner alignment, that inner wisdom, and that pause. I think it's so important. And we're running ourselves ragged, if you will. And if we could slow down and really do this work, this is the work that accelerates everything, because like you said, you have the strategies, you know what to do, but doing this inner work is the key component. And so,
because that's where action comes from, right? That's where action comes from. You can't just sit and analyze and strategize. You actually have to say, okay, what does that look like today?
Beautiful. I like that. So I'm going to post the link for your challenge that's starting Monday, a free challenge to really learn to step into and embody and cultivate your inner strength so that you can supercharge your impact and be able to trust yourself ultimately. That's important. And from that place of connection and centeredness, begin to take the inspired action that will lead you to that full version, that will lead you to the impact goals and all of the amazing things that you're looking for. So as I drop that in the comments here, is there anything else that you wanted to share that we didn't get to so that we can, close off? But if there's any other little golden nuggets that you'd like to share?
Yeah, this is all about choice and boundaries, and having that knowledge that you can make the choices that create the life of your dreams, giving yourself full permission to design your life and your business so they really fit you, and putting yourself in a position of remembering that every day, right? Knowing what is the most important thing, and then just checking in on, am I doing it? Am I doing what is the most important thing for me right now?
That's brilliant. And I think that's so important. And that's the key. There we go. I got the right link. I had the wrong one there for a second, but that is the key. And I am just so grateful that you shared on noonday. I'll fix that. Monday. On Monday. So it's so grateful. I'm so grateful, that you are sharing these tools and that you you share from a place of deep knowing and compassion. Clearly, it's definitely something that you are embodying, which is so brilliant, and I think is really important for us to be able to see that and celebrate that in other people, and just know that we all have these gifts, we all have these tools, and there's these little shadows that can kind of cloud our vision sometime. And I think what you're doing is helping us to kind of polish the lens so we see ourselves more clearly and be able to witness and recognize and find that internal validation. Like you said, find that internal validation and rely less on the outer world. And I mean, inevitably we do want and need that, but learning to see ourselves and witness ourselves is so powerful. And so I love that you're doing this, and I'm so excited for the challenge. You all know I love to learn, and I think it's a really important thing for us to be constantly doing, self-development, self-mastery, self-elevation. And so that's, it's such a beautiful gift. And so I'm grateful to have you as part of this community. And so if you have questions for Cher about her challenge, about anything that we spoke about today, please drop them in the comments below and feel free to tag her. And she'll keep an eye on this thread as well, and I will as well. And so if, I'm happy to make an introduction if you'd like to chat with her more. And you will see too, I'll put her website as well. So it's mindfulentrepreneur.ca, because she's coming to us live from the beautiful Canada. And so, reach out with any questions. Definitely join us for the challenge. It is going to be an amazing way to up level and really connect to yourself. And so the link is there, and I'll add that to the description above. And thank you again so much for being here today.
Thank you, Megan. It is such an honor to be part of your community. And thank you for hosting me on this.
Oh, you're so welcome, Lovey. Well, have a beautiful day, everybody, and making sure to really take that time to turn your attention inwards and cultivate that deep relationship with yourself, because that's who you're being. That's who you're being in your business. And that's we learned today, and you likely already know, but really just having that constant reminder of cultivating that relationship with yourself, using the tools that Cher is going to share, using the tools of yoga to really embody that version and express that version and do whatever helps you feel lit up, so that you can go out and make the impact and income that your beautiful soul is destined for. So on that note, have an amazing rest of your day, everybody. Take good care. Bye, Cher. Thank you for being
here. Take care.
Yes. And I will see you all soon. Grateful for each and every one of you. Take good care, and we will chat soon. Bye-bye.